Dit weekend, hier achter mij, de allerlaatste Jesus Christ Superstar met Ted Neeley. Maar zoals altijd met Jezus, er is altijd een herrijzenis. This is our final time together.
Well, that's what it says.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's frightening to even contemplate that because I've been doing it, a couple of times.
Yes.
And I can't wait to get up there and do it again. But I got to tell you, like Barry said earlier, we are hopeful that somehow we will hear back by popular demand someday.
Yes, because May 9th, you're going to do nothing.
That's right. It's it.
Do you realize what that is, doing nothing?
No. I've never even contemplated the possibility.
Yes.
I don't know how to love him.
Yvonne, next to Barry Dennen, you were involved with the project right from the beginning.
Right from the very beginning.
Even before Mr. Neeley.
Oh, yes, indeed, yeah.
Please bring us back to that night when Ted Neeley stepped in because Jeff Van Holt was ill.
Well,
his first performance.
I remember the first time that he took the stage. We were all very excited for him, to see him, because it's always exciting when an understudy goes on. It's also very nerve-wracking because...
Yes. And you were playing Mary that night.
Yes, and he just brought the house down. Everybody was transfixed by him. Like he hypnotized them. They were all completely mesmerized by his performance. And there were a few notes that you worry about because he hit them all, and that was it. I mean, that was it for Jeff. I don't know if Jeff ever came back.
He told us, maybe he was bragging, Ted, he brought down the house. Were you there, that particular performance?
Oh, yeah.
And do you still remember that particular performance?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Well, Teddy came out and he just knocked us off our pins. He was really, really wonderful.
Right from the start? Right from What's the Buzz?
Yeah, right from the start.
Yeah.
He had rehearsed it. There were understudy rehearsals every week. So he knew what he was doing. And Teddy is a very accomplished performer. Let's put it that way. But when he came out, he grabbed that part by the throat and shook it. And we were all knocked out. He was just wonderful. Really, really wonderful.
Teddy was so like what he was portraying. He was always kind to everybody. I was kind of ostracized when I first got there because I got the role so easily, I did have to audition, but all these other actresses had been pounding the sidewalks for years, trying to get some kind of role like this. So I got it easily. Nobody came to my dressing room, but Teddy, he did, and Ben Vereen. They kind of like... And Teddy was in the chorus, but he still came to me, trying to make me feel better. And yes, and I mean he's always been a very sweet man. And when we were doing the film, people were following him around like the Pied Piper. People gravitate towards him, and it's not a put-on thing. He's not doing it for the role or whatever. It's just the way he is.
Yes.
So it was a perfect ambassador for this movie.
Did you realize it was going to be a historical night?
No.
No.
No, I didn't. No, I never saw that. I didn't. Nobody. I don't think anybody. Because Jeff had the part. He was cast in the part, and he was going to play the part. So no, I never. That didn't occur to me. But then the more things went on, and Teddy, and I began to play it with Teddy. I thought this guy, and I went to see Norman. At Pinewood, I think it was. And he asked me for some casting suggestions, and I said, you must see Ted Neeley, and you must see Carl Anderson. He said, and Norman said, well, it costs a lot of money to bring them. I said, just do it. Just bring them over. You'll never stop thanking me. And he did. He brought them over to England to make a screen test, which are expensive. And when he saw it, I remember he told me, and his choreographer saw it too. They said, "That's it. That's it.
We've got the one.
We've got the two.
Oh yeah.
We've got the two.
We got them.
Yeah, we've got them. Yeah. And I feel personally responsible for that. Actually.
your colleagues, your co-stars from the movie, Yvonne Elliman and Barry Dennen, are still talking, speaking admiring words about you. Especially that infamous night when you took over from Jeff Fenholt.
Oh, did you believe she told that? My goodness. It was remarkable. I was the understudy on Broadway. And it was an accident that I even got to be the understudy. But
because Jeff was sick that night?
Yeah. And I had certainly, you know how understudies are. You go in every night thinking you might get to perform, but most times you never do. And we found out about an hour before the show that he just wasn't going to be able to make it, throat problems. So they said, okay, Ted, you're on. And of course, I'm okay. And when I went on, at the beginning of the show, they always announce if an understudy's on. So they said, ladies and gentlemen, tonight the role of Jesus of Nazareth, normally played by Jeff Fenholt, will be played by Ted Neeley. And you heard the audience go, oh, because they came to see who they came to see. And I'm standing, you know, ready to go on, and I'm hearing going, oh, talk about a challenge. Well, I went on, and it worked, and standing ovations.
Yes.
And,
already from the start, your first song, what is that? What's the Buzz?
Yeah. Well, no, not until Gethsemane.
Oh.
Yeah, because, you know, they're looking, who is this guy, and what is he doing?
Texas drummer.
Absolutely. We came and we bought a ticket, and we didn't get to come, we didn't see what we came to see, and who is this person anyway? And, you know, it's a little strange to be on stage and knowing those things, because I'm the same way. If I go see a show, I want to see who I paid to see, you see. So, but at the end of Gethsemane, and I was so blown away because they were allowed to sing yes, but they were saying oh at the beginning. And the set, it said, Tom O'Horgan was our director, and he had a thing that looked sort of like the Rock of Gibraltar for Jesus to get up on, you know, as if climbing the mountain, and finishing the song on that thing. And then, of course, Judas comes out for the kiss. And the audience just were screaming and hollering. Everybody was so surprised. And I'm there thinking, oh, what do I do now? And then all of a sudden up comes, we can see, it was Ben Vereen who played Judas on Broadway. And I can see peripherally Ben coming up to me. And just as he got to me, I slipped and fell down the Rock of Gibraltar. Oh. So after that standing ovation, I fell on my face, you see. So it balanced everything out, you see.
After Jesus Christ Superstar, you had a second career.
Well, actually, Superstar, then I was in Eric Clapton's band. And
I Shot the Sheriff.
Right.
We can actually hear your voice.
Yeah, right, yeah. I was in 3 world tours with him, and 4 records. And that was a dream come true, because I wanted to be a rock person, right? So here I was on this grand stage with beaucoup people I could never have brought in on my own, and getting that experience, you know. And we were doing crazy things. I would roll up $20 bills and stick them in my holster, my gun holster. You know, I wore it as pads for the tambourine, but I'd put $20 bills all in there, and I'd throw them out to the audience like little Coke tutors, you know. Yeah, I know. So I was changing my image, you know, trying to. I was actually kind of tired of the Mary Magdalene image, you know, because I wanted to be a rocker. And so, you know, you do stupid things when you're young, you know. You want other things that you shouldn't really want because you've already got it, you know. But anyway, so I did do the rock and roll thing, and I never had a rock and roll voice. That's what I found out. They said, no, your voice lends itself more to the plaintive sort of, you know, the ballads and all that. So I finally realized that, and I settled down, and, you know, no, I never did settle down. I still want to sing rock and roll. Yeah. But
if I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. If I can't have you,
After that, a second departure, disco.
Well, Robert Stigwood, who was the producer for Superstar, and he discovered Cream and the Bee Gees. He took me under his wing, and then he found a couple of songs that he wanted me to do. So I did a Bee Gees song called "Love Me," and it became a minor hit. And then I went out on my own. I had to leave Eric's band, and then he said, "Why don't you do this song?" And he gave me "If I Can't Have You," or "How Deep Is Your Love." He said, "Listen to these two," and so I liked "If I Can't Have You." I thought the Bee Gees did it beautifully. So he said, "Well, let's record it," and so I went and did it, and They got it to #1. It was a hard climb. It was a lot of competition at that time.
And were you comfortable being a disco queen?
No.
No.
No, I like my jeans and my guitar. You know, I like that thing. But my manager at the time put me in satin pants and chainmail and did my nails. And I thought, wait a minute, I can't play guitar with these nails on. But he wanted a more elegant, more chic sort of person. And I carried it off for a little while. I was lucky to have a great producer who didn't go completely disco. He didn't go he put his own spin to disco chic. There you go. That's what it was. And I was very lucky. And that song is more famous than I am.
Yeah.
You know, people know that song. They don't always know Yvonne Elliman, but I'm happy to carry it along.
I remember Yvonne Elliman.
Oh, you do?
To dreams that never will come true. Am I strong enough to see you through? Go crazy is what I will do if I can't have you.
40 years later,
Yeah.
you're going to sing again. How is that? Are you comfortable with singing
Yes.
after all those years?
Well, yes. For 20 years I didn't sing because I was with a man, my husband at the time, he didn't want me to sing. He was threatened by it. He just wanted me to have the babies, take care of the babies. You know, this typical chauvinist nonsense. And I stayed with him for 20 years because, you know, children, all that stuff. But I finally left him and came to Hawaii, where somebody said, just come to Hawaii, we record one song, then you go back home. I never left home. I met the man who became my husband 16 years later, but he was the one that said to me, why don't you sing? Because I was hiding from everybody, because I thought they would want me to sing and compare me to how I sang before. And I didn't know how I would sing. So he said, come on, sister, sing. So he put a guitar in my hand. We started to sing and started to sound good together. I got my confidence back. Then I got a few jobs. People heard I was singing again. And now I'm all over the place, going all over the world. And mainly doing If I Can't Have You and I Don't Know How to Love Him. But, you know, those are the songs that I can still do. Even though I have to drop the key sometimes. I've dropped the key to 2 notes. That's quite a drop. But you have to go with what your voice can do. Would you rather me do it in the original key and crack at the very end, or would you want me to sing it, you know, where I can comfortable and I can still move you to tears? Right?
You can't reveal about coming weekend, but
I have no idea.
Are we going to hear you sing I Don't Know How to Love Him? Please.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
In a lower key.
I don't mind. Well, thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to see you twice, so I'm going to enjoy it.
I appreciate it.
After 40 years, I'm going to see you live. I can't wait.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you live too then.
Yeah.
Wear a funny hat and I'll see who you are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Franz.
Finally, 45 years later, you'll be here, your grand final. Is there a hint of a challenge for you after all those years?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes?
Every
What is that challenge?
The challenge, honestly, is will I be able to do this tonight? Will this still work? Is anything going to go wrong? Hoping that it will not. Hoping the audience will be as equally as receptive as they always are.
Well, thank you, Ted. We're going to watch and wave
Good, yes.
this
yes.
weekend.
Yes, that's wonderful.
And enjoy your grand final.
Thank you so very much.
I refuse to believe that it's a final.
Oh, thank you. You may know something I don't.
Thank you very much.
My
Have
pleasure.
fun in the Netherlands.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
And I have to just quickly say, I just reminded of myself of when we first met at the big cross coming in, remember?
Yes.
I remember that.
That was 1.5 years ago.
I know, and here we are still.
That was the beginning of a great friendship.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.